Since time immemorial, people have built mysterious buildings whose significance we can only guess at today. Huge buildings that should not exist have been created by humans since the beginning of time. Often they are sacrificial cities or holy and powerful places that are discovered by archaeologists. But also ancient phenomena created by nature itself can be observed again and again, where one cannot believe one's own eyes, and yet they exist. Are you fascinated by mysterious things and archaeological discoveries? Then give us a thumbs up, subscribe to Hidden Worlds, and join us on our journey. Mora Mosaics. In the Mexican state of Oaxaca, there is a very special architectural feature to see, the Mora Mosaics. Mitla was probably settled as early as 500 BC and was inhabited by the Zapotec people, who called themselves the Cloud People. The former palace city is rich in magnificent buildings that are a veritable treasure trove for archaeologists and scientists from all over the world. The Zapotec covered selected buildings with a peculiar wall decoration that is unparalleled. Thousands upon thousands of precisely hewn stone tiles form huge graphic ornamental walls. Jagged lines sweep across the walls in a very specific pattern as far as the eye can see. To this day, it's unclear what the Cloud People intended with these ornaments. Theories range from ominous powers to encrypted codes to profane wall decoration, which can probably never be conclusively confirmed. But the visual effect of the ornaments is undisputed. If you stand in a room decorated with these tiles, the sight can send a shiver down your spine. Greek dragon houses. In 1797, explorers climbed Mount Ochi on the Greek island of Euboea. What they found there, none of them could have foreseen. Over 20 rectangular buildings built of enormous stone slabs were discovered by the explorers scattered over the south of the island. Ancient ruins, some of them well preserved, others only existing in a few chunks. These ruins are surrounded by inconceivable myths and mysteries that still occupy researchers today. Were these really the dwellings of dragons, superhuman beings with powers we can only guess at today? Or were they early temples used for sacrifices and religious rituals? Scientists' opinions differ widely here, ranging as far as the theory of shelters used in summer for shepherds who herded their animals up here. A lack of historical sources prevents this mystery about the dragon houses from ever being revealed, and the mountains of the island of Euboea do not reveal the solution to the riddle. Oklahoma Runestones. In North America, more precisely in Runestone Park in Oklahoma, there is a small archaeological sensation that has baffled scientists since its discovery. It concerns runes that have been carved into an enormous boulder. The characters can be attributed to the runes of the Vikings. According to some sources, their origin dates back to around 900 to 1100 AD, and that is precisely the point. Northmen who arrived in what is now Oklahoma before Christopher Columbus discovered America and left their writing there? Oklahoma is over 600 miles from the coast. What were the Vikings doing there? How did they get to America? Are there other unknown traces? The most likely translation of the characters is Valley of the Gnomes. What is behind this message? The runes have kept their secret. Mysterious Stone. Roanoke, a settler town in North Carolina, was founded in 1585. In 1590, the settlement was found abandoned, and there was no trace of the 118 settlers. Carved into a tree, evidence was found that the settlers had possibly fled to an island inhabited by Indians. But from what? And why were there no traces, neither of their disappearance nor of their whereabouts? A huge question mark hovers over the lost colony of Roanoke. But even more mysterious is a find that a traveler discovered in 1973, the so-called Dare Stone. It's a stone with a story carved into it, the story of Eleanor Dare, settler in Roanoke and daughter of Governor John White. The stone tells the story of a battle with Indians, in which the child Eleanor had given birth to was named among many other victims. In the course of time, several more Dare Stones appeared and told the story to its end, concluding with Eleanor's death. Whether the stones are authentic or not, the story of the lost colony is deeply moving and enigmatic. Kumarkivi. There are many things that are so improbable that you can't believe them until you see them with your own eyes. Kumarkivi is definitely one of those things. To see it, you have to travel to the Finnish forests. That's where the Kumarkivi, the strange stone, as its name translates, is enthroned. And strange it is indeed. The enormous boulder balances on another rounded boulder that rests on the ground. The point of contact between the boulders is, compared to the boulder themselves, downright tiny. But even though it looks as if it would take no more than a snap of the fingers to topple the boulder, it does not move the slightest millimeter. According to legend, the gigantic stone was thrown there by giant trolls who have lived in the forest since time immemorial, and no power in the world can move it. But the rock has a very practical and realistic function. Scientists use it and similar rocks all over the world for seismic predictions. Sahuiti. In southern Peru, there is a very special place, the ruins of Sahuiti. The ruined city has hardly been explored yet, and at the same time is a veritable treasure trove of architectural feats. Researchers are paying special attention to the perplexing stone of Sahuiti. The boulder has gigantic dimensions. It's 2.5 meters high, has a diameter of 11 meters, weighs over 32 tons, and is made of granite. The age of the granite boulder is unclear. Its surface is decorated with artistically chiseled images such as animals, people, buildings, stairs, and canal systems. It's completely unclear why this rock was created and what purpose it served. Some experts assume that it's an ancient map of an Inca city. Other opinions tend toward uses for religious rituals and ceremonies. Still, others speak of a cult of water worship, as the canals and water pipes are depicted in great detail. In any case, the Sahuiti stone is impressive, and who knows, maybe one day its secret will be unraveled. Prehistoric lines throughout Malta. The whole of Malta is covered with lines reminiscent of tracks left by motor vehicles on dirt roads. Scrapes up to almost half a meter deep at intervals of just over a meter, forming an elongated parallel network across the island. Where do these lines come from? How did they come into being? A definitive explanation has not yet been found. The theory that they could be the drag marks of cart vehicles has its pitfalls. For if carts, poles, or sledges leave such deep tracks over the course of time, the hooves of the animals that pulled the carts should also be visible. The course of the tracks is equally curious. Some of the tracks lead directly towards steeply sloping reefs. Others lead along complicated routes up and down hills. The theory that it could be an irrigation system does not seem 100% likely because of this sometimes puzzling routing. If the island could talk, what would it tell us about these tracks? Merv. The beautiful ruins of the city of Merv are a World Heritage Site. This preserves the memory of a city that has a truly moving story to tell. Merv was founded as an oasis city in Central Asia, more precisely in Turkmenistan. And since then, there has followed a wild series of conquests and changes of rulers that is unparalleled. Merv was conquered by Alexander the Great. The city was destroyed, rebuilt, and then fell into the hands of the Muslim Arabs. Rule was taken over by the Seljuks, and Merv was declared the capital of the East, until the day Tolui Khan, the son of Genghis Khan, invaded Merv and killed, man and mouse, everyone who got in the Mongols' way. The siege is considered one of the bloodiest in world history and wiped out the city. Whoever wanders through the ruins of Merv wanders into truly eventful history. Well preserved, for example, is the mausoleum of Sultan Sanshar, which towers over the ruins. Maya Steely. The Maya are famous for their architecture, their artistry, and their scientific knowledge, which still surprises us today. Tikal, the ancient Mayan city with its famous stepped temples, is a center of attraction for many tourists visiting Guatemala. Less well known, but all the more magnificent, are the Maya stelae that can be marveled at in the Quirigua Archaeological Park. Steles that rise up to 10 meters into the sky have elaborate decorations carved into the stone. Deities, hieroglyphics, scenes from the everyday life of the inhabitants, religious rituals, all this and much more has been recorded on the stelae for future generations by the ancient Mayan artists. In addition to the Steely, there are also old ruins to visit in Kirigua Park that remain from this beautiful palace city. A huge bomb in the garden. A garden owner in Vietnam discovered an archaeological find of a special kind. While working in the garden, he came across metal. Curious, he dug further, only to discover to his horror that he was digging up a huge bomb. The monstrosity measured 2.5 meters in length and 0.6 meters in diameter, weighing almost 1.5 tons. Military specialists were called in to defuse the bomb and transport it to military premises for further protection. Bomb finds in Vietnam are not uncommon, but this specimen in the front garden was certainly one of the largest ever to come to light. Scientists, researchers, and experts are only just beginning to decipher ancient riddles, buildings, figures, ruins, and phenomena. Have you already had experiences with such objects, discovered something strange, or helped with an excavation? Feel free to write a comment. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you soon.